Sit quietly for a moment. Let your breath soften. Let the noise of the world fade into the distance. There is nothing you need to achieve right now. Nothing you need to prove. Just be here and listen gently. In this stillness, truth becomes easier to hear. Suffering does not come from life itself. It does not come from what happens around you. It comes from what you hold on to, long after it is gone. You believe that pain is caused by loss, by change, by others. But look more deeply. Everything you have ever suffered from was something you refused to release. A moment passes, yet you cling to it. A person changes, yet you resist it. An outcome fails, yet you replay it again and again. This is where suffering begins. Life is not still. It flows like a river, always moving, always changing. What you love today may not be here tomorrow. What you fear today may dissolve without warning. Nothing stays the same. This is not a flaw of life. This is its nature. When you try to hold on to what is meant to change, you create friction within your own mind. And that friction becomes pain. If you can see this clearly, you will begin to understand a deeper truth. You are not suffering because life is difficult. You are suffering because you are holding too tightly. Letting go is not weakness. It is not loss. It is not defeat. It is wisdom. The tighter you hold on to something, the more it controls you. You think you are holding it, but in truth, it is holding you. Holding your thoughts, holding your peace, holding your freedom. When you release your grip, something surprising happens. You do not lose yourself. You return to yourself. Letting go is not about giving up what matters. It is about freeing yourself from what harms you. Peace does not come from controlling everything around you. It comes from no longer needing to. When you stop trying to control people, they become lighter in your mind. When you stop forcing outcomes, life begins to breathe again. And in that space, peace quietly appears. Many people spend their lives searching for approval. They want to be seen, accepted, validated. They measure their worth through the eyes of others. But the more you seek validation, the more power you give away. If your value depends on someone else's opinion, then your peace will always be unstable. Today they praise you. You feel strong. Tomorrow they reject you. You feel broken. This is not freedom. Your worth is not something others can give you, and it is not something they can take away. It is already within you. When you stop asking for approval, you begin to stand on your own ground. You no longer bend to be accepted. You no longer shrink to be liked. You become still. And in that stillness, you become free. Letting go is not something that happens once. It is something you practice again and again. At first it feels difficult. Your mind will return to old habits. It will hold, resist, replay, and attach. But each time you notice, each time you pause, each time you release, you are strengthening a new way of being, a lighter way, a calmer way. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes natural. You begin to let go more easily. You begin to suffer less, and slowly, peace becomes your default state. There are things you can control, and there are things you cannot. You cannot control how others behave. You cannot control what life brings. You cannot control time, but you can control your thoughts. You can control your responses. You can control how you choose to see things. When you try to control what is not yours, you create frustration. When you accept what is not yours, you create peace. The difference is simple, but powerful. Not every emotion deserves your reaction. Anger may arise, fear may appear, sadness may visit. These are natural. They are not mistakes, but they are not commands. You do not need to act on every feeling. Between the emotion and your response, there is a space. In that space, you have a choice. If you can pause, if you can observe, you will discover your true strength. Power is not reacting quickly. Power is choosing wisely. When you begin to detach, you begin to see clearly. Without attachment, you no longer see what you want to see. You see what is real. You understand people as they are, not as you hoped they would be. You release expectations that were never true, and in that clarity, you stop chasing illusions. You begin to understand who belongs in your life and who does not. Detachment does not make you cold. It does not take away your ability to love. It makes your love stronger because it is no longer based on fear. You can care deeply without losing yourself. You can give without needing something in return. You can feel without being consumed. This is not distance. This is balance. There is no need to explain yourself to everyone. Those who truly respect you do not need constant justification. Over-explaining often comes from fear. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being rejected. But when you are clear within yourself, you no longer feel the need to convince others. Your silence becomes enough. And in that silence, there is strength. You cannot change others. You cannot force someone to grow. You cannot make someone understand what they are not ready to see. Trying to change others will drain your energy. It will leave you frustrated and tired. Instead, choose those who align with you. Choose those who grow with you. And allow others to walk their own path. When you detach from outcomes, something shifts within you. You no longer feel anxious about results. You no longer measure your worth through success or failure. You focus on your effort, on your presence, on what you can truly give. Life unfolds in its own timing. Some things arrive late, some things leave early. This is not something to fight. It is something to trust. True freedom is not found outside. It is not found in possessions or status or approval. It is found within. No one can control you unless you allow it. No situation can take your peace unless you give it away. When you learn to master your mind, you no longer need to control the world. And in that realization, you become free. So remember this. Let go, and suffering begins to fade. Stop competing, and peace begins to grow. Stand on your own, and freedom becomes real. Protect your inner calm above everything else. Because in the end, it is not what you achieve, but how peacefully you live that truly matters. May your heart be light. May your mind be clear. May your path be gentle. And may you always live in peace.